today. From MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Philadelphia Eagles.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 away to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 9. Hurts sets up to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You talk about this Giant defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Throwing is Hurts. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So now here are the Giants backed up to start their first drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback from the University of Illinois.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
They'll start with a run by Tracy. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Showing some tough running there. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Off the play fake. Leach. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And the Giants send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That's taken inside his own 40. A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It was actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. You talk about this Giant defense. It's quite a unit, number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Here's Hurts to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Brian Burns racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. The Giants' offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw. Leach has this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Second down and a yard. Tracy trying the right side. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Tracy going to get it on 1st down. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage. But every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Leach. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Malik Neighbors with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Giants post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
2nd down, here's Hurts. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the 1st. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground to the 43, 2nd down. So this game, Charles, you know, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the 1st half. Backups get to play in the 2nd. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On the give, it's Tracy. And shedding through the tackle. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, Leach. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. A great effort there. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Giants will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And that'll give us momentum going into the 2nd half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's a give up the middle. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Call it no gain there. They've got a ways to go now on 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where you see the final score there. Dak Prescott, a touchdown pass in the victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Brandon Ayuk, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were losers in that ball game as they fall to the visiting Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A 2-touchdown game, 14-0 the score as we get rolling again here in this second half. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Down the sideline he goes. And finally down at the 32-yard line. And quickly they get to the line. They'll go again with Tracy. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Eluding the pressure right. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. From the 13 now they work on 1st and 10. They'll hand it to Tracy. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Daniel Bellinger. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Giants take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Brian Daboll reaching for that challenge flag, and he's going to have the officials review this call. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So that review working out well for Brian Daboll. He wins that challenge. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 115 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And they're going to speed things up here. Right back to Tracy. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Giants take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And it is 28-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Hurts. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. Second and 10. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Tracy. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Back to throw. Leach. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Malik Neighbors with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter. And the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. On second and 10. Hurts. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Eagles on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw.
And Hurts is intercepted. His 3rd of the game. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. And now they're in the hurry-up. Looking to throw on second down. Leach, flush to his right. This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown! A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants are on their way to a sensational 13-0 start as they extend their lead here. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point right down the middle, and it is 42-0. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Back to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now back to throw. Quick slant here to Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second down at a yard. They'll look to throw again. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Second and 11. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And this will be a Giants first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Throwing on first down. Leach flushed it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. To throw on second down. Leach forced out to his left. And it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. Down the right sideline. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick six TD. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Extra point now by Boswell. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Looking to throw on second down. Leach. He's got Bellinger. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be caught. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Well, this has been another impressive display by this undefeated team, Charles, and it looks like they're going to stay that way after this one.
Yeah, one of the league's best offenses. They've stayed on brand in this contest because they continue to look good at what they do. Just added a late touchdown. Now they're really hammering home just how good they've been all year long, letting the rest of the league take notice.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at triple zeros. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. A leap, and he will make the catch. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So for the Giants, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL.